Hey everyone, for today's insights and tips, we're going to talk about a routine way to help your player develop confidence. First and foremost, confidence can be viewed in two ways. It can be viewed as a character trait or it can be viewed as an emotion. In terms of character traits, there are actions your player can take to show more confident behaviors on the field. When we look at it as an emotion, it's a little bit harder to control because, in actuality, we can't necessarily control our emotions. However, we can focus our attention on certain things that will help us to feel a certain way. For example, if I pay attention to a goal I scored or a move that I made on the field, I'm probably going to feel a little more confident. So that's kind of the idea of the routine I'm going to introduce today. And I call it the well. It's basically a journal. And I'm going to show it here on the screen. There are 4 different sections or 4 different ways that you can make a journal entry. So let's go through them briefly right now. First, it's any performance action. Like, what did my player do on the field, whether it's offense, defense, on on the ball, off the ball? What were they proud of? Or it could be, how did they handle a mistake? So maybe they made a mistake, but they were able to move past it faster or stay more positive. And so that's an action that we might not necessarily see, but it's something that was going on in their mind. And definitely that is a moment of growth. The other area is gratitude, right? So let's just say your player comes off the field and says, you know what, I played terrible. I'm not proud of anything. And that happens, right? So we know that, all right, if you're really not happy about anything or you're kind of resisting writing something down, there's got to be something you're grateful for. And this is just a really good lesson for young people to learn, is to focus on what they appreciate and focus what they're grateful for, that they got to compete that weekend, that maybe they got to travel to a game, whatever it may be. Just find something that they're thankful. Having friends, having a great supportive team. All right. And then the third section is to identify moments where your player demonstrated character. And it can be absolutely any character trait you can think of. A good one that I would recommend is finding moments of confidence, right? So that's kind of why we're here, is we want to help our players feel more confident and recognize when they are actually showing confidence. So maybe they took a player on, they took a risk, they went for a 50-50 ball. Anything that they deem to be confident, you can write it down and say, I showed confidence when ... Could be anything else. I showed positivity. I showed acceptance. I showed courage. And if they, again, had a difficult game, a bad game, I showed hard work, ... All right. So I love that section. I think that one really connects well with the players. So definitely try to find one of those on a weekly basis. And then the final section is the one that really feels the best. And that is praise and reward. So, hey, did someone say good job? Like, did your coach, did parents, teammates say something that made you feel good about your performance? Did you guys win? Did your team win? Did you get an award? Record it, write it down, and now let's just talk about the process. So we know what to do in the journal, how to do it, or when to do it. So let's talk about when. I would recommend recording in this journal make it routine. So maybe like a Sunday evening, the typical times after games have been played when you have realistic amount of time to sit and do this. So Sundays are great. Maybe a Monday. A lot of, players have off on Mondays. It really depends. But Sunday, Monday, routinely sit down, write some things in the journal. And then you're going, do this over time. And then before competitions, you want to read through your journal. And this is really the important part. So we have to do the work to get memories written in there. And then when a player is preparing for a competition, they can read through all of the memories they've written down. And that is essentially how we create confidence, like on the spot, right? So maybe they're feeling nervous or even excited or whatever they're feeling before a game. Most feel a little nervous or anxious. Maybe they're tired, fatigued. Well, if you read through the well, it has shown to be able to boost energy and boost self-esteem and confidence before they're going to play. All right, just to summarize here, you now know what the well is. It's a journal. You know the process. Write at least 3 memories each competition, each weekend, and then read through all of your memories when you're preparing to perform. My final note is that look, it's really simple, to be honest. Like, we're just sitting with our athlete and we're reflecting on the performance. And the reason why we're doing it is we really need to help them retrain their brain. You might know how it is. You walk off the field and the first thing in your mind, and I know I'm talking about myself even just as a player, first thing in my mind is all the mistakes I made. So that's okay if we're going to learn and grow, but we want to teach our players or retrain their brain to balance that with these positive moments, because unfortunately they get forgotten very easily. And from a parent point of view, I know how badly you want to help your player build confidence. I mean, it's not that hard, but then again, like, it does take some practice or routines. Like, it does take time. It's not just going to happen overnight. That's my basic point. So please, I highly recommend that you start this kind of a challenge for this entire season. Get the journal. I have a journal available, what you had seen on the screen before. I'll show it again here. This is a journal that I've created. So if you want that structure, please feel free to go that route, or just create a journal that you already have. All right. So challenge for the entire season. Please do it, and best of luck.